everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, Season 7, Episode 2. And if you'll notice, just to my right, there's a little doggy face in the window here. How much is that doggy in the window? Not for sale. That is Thomas's puppy, Nova. And she's just outside to do her business. So he's waiting for her to do what she needs to do before I let her in. Down. She's jumping up. Should I let her in? Thanks for making an appearance, Nova. All right, so how is everybody today? I am sitting in front of brand new doors. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I opened this one. The old doors, you had to open this side first in order to open this one. On this one, these new doors, you have to open this one before that one will open. Not only that, the glass in the doors are narrower. So the opening right here is narrower than the old ones. And then our glass on the side here that doesn't open is wider. So that'll be nice for my house plants. But yeah, but this is narrower, which is fine because it's still pretty wide if you open them together. But what do you need? Like, you know, we're not bringing things in and out all the time. Why do you need it super wide? And as you'll see, my background is the garden because it's daylight still. Should I open both doors? I don't know if it'll make a difference for what let me see. Happy Mother's Day to all my Canadian American mothers. I saw that Melody just wrote that. Look at these doors and the nice new handles. We got new doors and windows in the house. And although they look very similar to the ones that we had before, they're a lot better quality. And I'm not rushing to get to autumn and winter, but I am excited for when autumn and winter come to see how my houseplants differ with the new windows and doors, because there'll be no drafts coming in or anything else. And that's drafts, not giraffes. I don't think the giraffes would fit. So, welcome to the garden. This way with the doors open too, you don't get the reflection of the light on it. Yeah, so you can see patches of my grass and my hose is lying back down there. But yeah, so these are my reduced flowers that I got from the grocery store. I ran in for something quick to the convenience store, and these were like reduced to nothing, to pennies basically, just to get rid of. And so I bought them in the stalks. That's the purple ones. They smell so lovely, like, I don't know, like some kind of spice, like not cinnamon, but like a spice like that. I love it. So roses and stalks. So I thought that would make it nice. So Mom, happy Mother's Day. This is your bouquet right here. Yeah, now that I just told you that I got them really cheap. Just kidding. I thought this would make a nice thing for the Mother's Day thing. It's not Mother's Day here in England, so thank you for saying Happy Mother's Day, but I already celebrated in March. But, you know, being a parent happens every day, so you can hear the birds still singing. I think sunset's supposed to be at 8:50, so we'll see how long it takes to get dark out. Might even be like the whole rambling hour. So, so I shaved my legs yesterday. I don't know if people saw that yesterday was Worldwide Naked Gardening Day. So I shaved my legs and made myself look so nice for me to take some pictures of my naked gardening. But because my legs are smooth and nice, the doggies, they always bump up against me and stuff, especially when they're play fighting, and they just need to be near me all the time. But their fur is so soft on my legs. I love it. That's one of my favorite things the last few days, is just them bumping up against me and how soft their fur feels. Because I'm wearing shorts, which I haven't wore since last year or whatever. So yeah, and flip-flops yesterday and today. Well, because after I showered and got ready for Naked Gardening Day, I didn't want to put on like big bulky clothes or something. I knew I had to take them off right away, so I just put on shorts, this shirt, and flip-flops so I could take it off easier. So I've been wearing the same outfit for yesterday and today. Well, half of yesterday and today. So I haven't done my workout yet, but I will do that when I'm done my live, I have, hey look, if I put my head like this and block that white right there, then it makes it look like one big continuous, almost like a picture window. So what was I saying? Yeah, oh, I ate already. I ate dinner. It was a quick and easy dinner today. I had some chicken breasts that I needed to use up, and the potatoes were starting to grow, so I cut off the pieces that were starting to grow. I made the baked potatoes in the microwave, and they take it's about 45 minutes in the microwave, so I put them on for 15, and then I shook the bowl, the plastic bowl with the potatoes in, put them back in for another 15, shook the bowl, and then another 15. And honestly, the baked potatoes in the microwave are really nice. But baked potatoes, beans, like canned beans, chicken. I cut the chicken breast up into pieces and warmed that up, and put a little bit of water with it and warmed it up in the microwave so it's nice and juicy. And then cheese to melt on top. So yeah, we had what they call jacket potatoes here, or in Canada we call them baked potatoes. Baked potatoes, beans, chicken, and cheese, and that's what we had for dinner. It was yummy. I only had one small potato, but so speaking of cooking in the microwave, the kitchen is completely empty, and we got our floor put down last week, so we got the windows installed at the same time that the floor was going down in the kitchen, and it's done. The floor is tiled and looks so gorgeous, and I'm so excited. So tomorrow I'm going to be painting the ceiling in the kitchen while it's empty, because then on Wednesday our cooker gets delivered, and Friday and Saturday the kitchen guy comes to start installing the carcasses for the kitchen. So I want to get the ceiling painted while nothing's in there, because it's easier that way, and then also the paint doesn't get on anything. And the tiles, I'll put some drop cloths down, some dust sheets, whatever, but it also, just want that to be where you see some purple and some orange. I don't want too much. Okay, so the drop cloth, so the paint doesn't get all over the tiles, but it should come off the tiles easy. But because we changed the lights in the ceiling in the kitchen, we used to have 2 long fluorescent lights, and those are taken down, and now we have the pot lights. What do they call them? Downlighters, I think they call them here. Just the circle ones that are flush with the ceiling, basically. Yeah, so I have to take those off before I paint, and then I'll just paint the ceiling white again really quickly, but just to make it all match and look very fresh and nice. And I am just super, super excited. The kitchen is going to look so good. And then I can do my lives from the kitchen, and we can do recipes and a bunch of fun stuff in the kitchen. What else? So the soffits and fascia were done on the house. Windows are changed, and we're just still working on the kitchen. And then there's the bathroom across from the kitchen, like the bathroom downstairs, which will be the ensuite, because it's next to the garage, and the garage is going to be our bedroom, so it'll become our bathroom when the garage becomes our bedroom. But one step at a time, and it's very exhausting having the house in disarray, but there's lots of negative things that can make you feel exhausted. This is a positive thing, so I don't want to complain. I'm just going to get through it because it's quite exciting. So I better check if there's comments, because I'm not. No, nobody has commented yet. If you're there, hello to people watching live and to people watching this at a later time. And if you would like to talk about something specific, write a comment in the bottom. But I imagine most of my Canadian people will be busy, although my sister Melody and my mom are on right now. But it is Mother's Day. But I know my mom said that Melody was there last night at their time, so they already did their Mother's Day thing. And then my brother and his wife were visiting my mom, I think this morning. Their time. Was it this morning or yesterday? I don't remember when my mom said. But anyway, and my little sister is busy with some work stuff. So, and Mom said, can't wait to see the kitchen. I know, it's very exciting. So Steve started on the kitchen before him and I started dating, and everything had to come out, and for the walls to be replastered is what they do here. They put up like what we call drywall. They call it plasterboard, but then they put a layer of plaster over the whole thing, and it had to be redone. So all the cupboards came out, and then we assumed that the kitchen wouldn't be long before we did the kitchen. So we just put the cupboards back in, but we stacked them on top of each other instead of putting them back on the wall, because we thought we'd be getting new ones. And we had to wait for an electrician for so many things in the house being done, and time just got away on us. And so I've been here 7.5 years. So the kitchen has been with cupboards stacked on top of each other for 7.5 years, and now we're finally getting the kitchen. But even more exciting, I mean, I'm excited and I'm happy for me, but I'm even more excited for Steve, because he deserves this. He works really hard. He's had this house for 16 years, and so when Aurora was born, she's 16, she'll be 17, so I guess he's had this house for 17 years. So he bought this house in 2005, so that's how I know how long it's been. Is the same year that Aurora was born, he got this house. So it's been a long time coming, and he deserves good things in life. Not just because if you can afford to do things, you deserve good things, but because he works really hard for his money, and he's just really smart with his money. So if this is what he wants to put his money into, he deserves it, and I'm really happy for him. Oh, Mom says that my brother and his wife came in Friday night and stayed at her house. So yeah, it's nice to have visits with them. I'm glad that I get to do these things, and Mom and Melody as well. I hope this feels like you guys are seeing me and having a visit with me, because I do miss my family in Canada, and having visits with them. But I think this brings us closer, and I do video chat with them as well. So that, I mean, I just talked to my mom about half an hour ago on video chat before I did this. So it really does make me feel like we've seen each other and that we're closer than we are. So it's crazy. Like I said before, it's crazy to think that if I had moved here like 50 years ago or 100 years ago, that I would have to write a letter and then wait weeks and weeks and weeks for it to get there, and then to vice versa for, you know, a response. And now we can talk instantly as if we're next door to each other. It's amazing. And I really suggest to people, even people who live down the street from each other, that you make that, like, either make time to see each other in real life, and if you can't, then video chat or like connect. So also let's talk about Spencer. Samantha's son, is 3 weeks old now, and he's doing really well, and I can't wait to meet him. He's still in the hospital because he's a little preemie, but soon enough he'll be out and we will get to see him. And I just saw that Kirsty is signed on, and she knows Samantha as well, so I'm sure she's very excited to see Spencer as well when he is finally able to come home. What else can we talk about? Gardening. I've been trying to be in the garden as much as I can. I planted seedlings, so I need to take care of them. And then just trying to keep the house clean while it's in disarray. But yeah, and it makes me feel better. So the living room is still empty and clean. Like, there's nothing extra in the living room. It's mostly in the dining room, the entranceway and stuff. So there's no reason not to be able to do yoga and my shred and stuff in here. My portion sizes on my food have not been great. I need to start getting back to basics and having small portions. So I did well with my supper today. Like I said, I only had one small potato and beans and cheese and chicken. So there's carbs and protein, but I need to make it every meal and watch what I'm doing. So what else? Dogs. Yeah, that's what I do during the day. During the week is dogs sit. So let's see how it goes tomorrow. Trying to paint the ceiling in the kitchen, plus watching a puppy. She can run around. She might get paint on her back while I am painting, but we got to do what we got to do. So, oh yeah, it just says dispatched. Your package with barbecue mesh grill bags will be delivered tomorrow. So Amazon. Of course, these things they show us on Facebook, these advertisements come up. Because we don't have the cooker in the kitchen right now, because everything is, you know, in disarray. I've been barbecuing. Thank goodness for our big nice barbecue, American style barbecue, where I can just turn it on and cook something and then shut it off. You know, you don't need to wait for the coal or charcoal to warm up, and you know. But so I've made hamburgers, I've made pork steaks, and yes, so I bought these mesh bags that are reusable, and they're like non-stick, and you put your vegetables and stuff in them and then snap them closed, and you just like flip over your vegetables and stuff on the barbecue in there, instead of making like cutting up like all your vegetables and putting them in tin foil. And then, although tin foil can be recycled, I imagine these are like for the environment, that you would use these and reuse them. So they looked interesting and appealing, and I want to make some more things on the barbecue, not just the meat. So we'll see how those go. So those will be delivered tomorrow. Although tomorrow I'm going to be making a pork stew, so in the slow cooker. So I won't be using the barbecue tomorrow, unless I make myself a pizza for lunch. No, I don't need a pizza for lunch. But me and Allison have made homemade pizzas on the barbecue before, because it comes with a pizza stone. Although I had a pizza stone from before as well. But a barbecue pizza is really nice. So if you have any suggestions for things that are not your typical things to make on the barbecue, let me know. I'm still getting used to the like temperature, what temperature to put things on when you're cooking on the barbecue. And the really cool thing is that on this barbecue, there on the left side, there's like a burner, like a burner. So I made rice in a pot on the side burner while I made the pork steaks on the barbecue, and that was my first time using a burner on a barbecue like that. It's a weird kind of burner. It looks like, I don't know, it's not like a coil like element or anything, but and my first time making anything on a burner like that, my first time making rice like that, and the rice turned out just the same as if I made it in the kitchen. And I was worried because it was kind of windy that day too, so even though it would boil, I didn't know how it would be making it in the wind, because rice can be very particular, you know, when you have to boil it for so long, turn it off and let it absorb the rest of the water. But it turned out really well. And that day we had pork steaks, rice, and mushroom soup as the sauce. So that's an easy dinner for our families. Easy to make. The difference between a pork chop and a pork steak is that the steak doesn't have a bone and the pork chop has a bone, but it's basically the same thing. Yeah, it's good being married to a well, I thought he was only a third generation butcher, but I guess the butcherness in their family goes back even further than that. So yeah, he is not a butcher right now, but he is qualified to, you know, he has done that since he was 8 years old, working in the butcher shop with his granddad and his dad. And his dad's retired as well. His dad doesn't do that anymore either. And after he was a butcher, he worked in the meat hygiene services for a long time and was an inspector. That's Steve that I'm talking about. Actually, maybe his dad worked for the meat hygiene as well. I can't remember. So what is new with you? I know it's rambling hour, so I'm rambling. I had a suggestion last week that I talked to somebody about YouTube and putting my videos on there. And they said something about like putting my videos on YouTube, which I want to do anyways, and then making money from advertising. And I was like, I don't know. I said most of my videos, like, I do want to put them on YouTube just so that people of my friends and family who don't have a Facebook can, you know, access them as well. But I said my videos are more for friends and family. I mean, even though they're public and anybody can watch them, I don't know that I have that many people watching that they would care, you know, for me to like put it on YouTube and be able to get advertising. So, and it's not about making money or having followers and everything else. I mean, that's great if that happens, but it's about having a, you know, like I say, having a coffee with an old friend, or having a drink, a chat with an old friend type thing. So it's just about keeping you guys up to date what's going on in this world. And yeah, but something to think about. Steve always says if I did my gardening stuff on like live videos that I would get a lot of views. And some of those live videos that I've seen on TikTok and stuff like that, people are just doing some weird stuff and they're like live and people are watching for hours, like watching them do whatever, fold clothes, I don't know, like, oh, there's this guy, okay, but this is satisfying, but I wouldn't want to watch it live. But if I went and watched the videos of it actually happening, it's like carpet cleaning, but like Persian carpets, and they use like it's a big like spinny push, like, you know, like when you buff a floor, kind of looks like that, and they clean these Persian carpets and all different carpets, but that is satisfying. Like, you gotta check that out. But I don't know if I'd want to watch anything like that live. So, I mean, like, what I'm saying is if there's people who are willing to watch some of this weird stuff live, then I guess I could probably get viewers. But I'm also nervous about that. Do you know what I mean? It's even like having your Instagram public and stuff like that. It's like, if I can connect with like normal people who have interests the same as mine and everything, that's one thing. But there's so many like weirdos out there, and it just makes me a bit nervous, especially because I talk about so much of our personal lives here. So the bigger my audience, the less personal I would be getting on here. But, and that's weird for me to say because I'm an open book, but I realize that with the children and Steve, that I have to watch what I say because it's not just about me, you know. So I'm gonna have a drink, and you can message if there's anything you guys want to talk about. I probably shouldn't drink because I did go wee-wee before my rambling hour, but I need to go wee-wee again. What is that? Oh, I see. It's a patch. No, but I can't tell what on, like, okay, so this right here is a bone lying on the lawn, and this right here is an ice cream cone toy. So the pink top of the ice cream, and then the orange is the cone part, and these black things like that are patches where the grass needs to grow in. But oh, I see, it's this leaf because I just touched it, but I couldn't figure out what that was. I thought it was back on the lawn with the anyways. So I didn't know if it was a cat sitting there. I couldn't figure out what it was, and when I would turn around, there was nothing there. Very weird. Sorry. Cheers. It's only pop. But what does this one say again? You're bloomin' lovely. That's for all the mums out there in Canada and America. Well, all the mums, but happy Mother's Day if you're celebrating it today. Whatever you drink, you should try drinking it in a different liquid receptacle than you usually do. So coffee, or like, this is pop, but I'm drinking it out of a gin glass, and it just makes it feel different. So I suggest doing that. Just put some orange juice in a wine glass or a gin glass and try it. Makes you feel a little bit more fancy, even though I'm not dressed fancy. You know what's funny about this shirt and then these shorts? The short, okay, so I don't know if I can, I use these shorts for gardening, but I guess technically they're Ralph Lauren, but they're just like, they're boy shorts. But let's see, how can I do this? Should I go further back so you can see me? They were Thomas's, so that was my point, is that these shorts and this shirt used to be Thomas's. And I'm not into name brands and stuff, and I don't care. They're just comfy shorts and they look cute. So, am I in the same place? For the most part. Shouldn't have moved. My wee-wee. Yeah, I don't have any guests this week, but I have talked to someone to potentially be my guest next week. And I would like to do that more. So if you'd like to be my guest, let me know. I feel like, I wonder if there's like people who want to be my guest, but they wouldn't want to say like, oh, I'll be your guest. They want me to ask, or they'll be flattered if I ask. But then at the same time, I don't want to like harass people and make them feel like obligated. So like, oh, do you want to be my guest? And if they say yes, then it maybe one of these weeks, and then I keep checking with them, then, you know, I don't want to be like feeling like I'm harassing them. So there's something else I was going to tell you guys about. So I've told you about our week. And the kitchen. So exciting. Steve will find out tomorrow when our fridge gets delivered, our fridge freezer. I'm just so excited. Like, it's like huge, like Christmas. So I've watched my friends and family, like, not everybody obviously, because you know, it's certain times in your life that you might be able to do home renovations. And I've thought about that too. Like, I wanted, like, just like not brag about it, but I want to talk about it because I'm so excited. But then I'm like, ooh, I don't want people to be jealous. But then I think, well, I mean, if they're insecure or jealous, that's kind of their own thing, because whenever I saw my family or friends like building a new house or renovating a room or doing those things, I never thought, oh, I mean, I guess maybe a part of me was like, ooh, I wish I could do that. But it wasn't like a, ooh, why are they sharing that? They shouldn't share that way, because not everybody can afford to do that. It's more of a like, oh, that's exciting. Let me see what it, you know, the before and after. And yeah, because I like stuff like that. So hopefully it's the same way with me, because I'm really excited about it. I am not, you know, it's like a car. I am not into a huge expensive car. I just want a car that functions well. Obviously, the more features it has, that's great, but it's the same thing with a kitchen. I just want a kitchen that functions, but I'm not going to complain about having a really nice kitchen either. It's very exciting. So I'm very excited, but I'll use it, right, for all of you to enjoy, so that we can do lives from there. And it's, yeah, so exciting. What else? I love it outside. I'm just so grateful for the long gardening season here, although it doesn't give me time for other hobbies. But the garden gets better year after year, just always improving on things. And I'm really trying to love the plants that I have and not buy new ones. So I want it to be where I just like go around and water things or deadhead or just take care of things. I don't want to have to be, although any garden takes work, especially when you grow a lot of stuff in pots, because they need to be potted up into bigger pots. Actually, something that I do need is, I need to get a big, huge, like, delivery of topsoil, because I have these whiskey barrels that Steve bought me, like half whiskey barrels, and that's great, but I don't have any soil for them. And the cost of potting soil, which they call compost here, is insane. Like, it's like, the bags used to be 125 liters, now they're 100 liters, and they used to be like 5 or 6 pounds, and now they're 11 pounds for 100 liters. It's like, it's insane. So I need a huge amount of topsoil to fill the whiskey barrels, and to just repot things. So some, like, as it's the same as houseplants. Once the roots are coming out the bottom, you need to go up one size pot. You don't want to put them into too big of a pot, because that will, you know, there'll be too much water for roots and they could rot. So you just go one pot size up. But a lot of my plants that I've had in pots for a few years need to be repotted, but you would be surprised how much it adds up. So I need to do that as well, is order some potting, like a big bag of topsoil. Melody says, sorry, I was just making lunch. Mel, what did you make us? And Mom says, hey, is Sonny going to pick up this Tupperware? Yes, Mom, I talked to Sonny, and he says that he's pretty sure he can fit the Tupperware in his suitcase to bring here. So I will tell him to get in contact with you so that he can arrange when to stop by there to pick it up. Yes, so that, again, that's exciting that our friend Sonny is coming to England at the beginning of June. And it's, you know, we're getting back to some of those things like traveling and everything else. So we look forward to having friends and family come and stay with us when they are comfortable and able to travel. Melody said just toast and PBJ, peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, that's not bad. You know what? You cannot beat toast. Sometimes just buttered toast is like the best snack ever. Or like sliced, like not what we call plastic cheese, like not cheese slices, but like you take the big block of cheese and cut a piece off and just have that on your toast, like buttered toast, like so cheese on toast. That's really nice too. And Mom, you would be happy that I actually picked some of my rhubarb so that more can grow. And I have rhubarb sitting over by the cutting board now too, so I can have toasted rhubarb sandwiches as well. Oh, my mom made me jealous the other day. She showed me a sink full of dandelions. And in our family, we have a dandelion salad, which is so yummy and really good for you. Lots of iron in it. So how we do it is we pick young dandelions when the flowers are still little balls at the bottom of the dandelion with the leaves. And But the problem is, and I'll tell you about the dressing in a second, the problem is that it's not that we don't have dandelions here in England. They originally come from over here. But it is hard to find nice, like, open field, just dirt field with some dandelions growing in it. Because you don't want dandelions in grass, they're too hard to get out. You don't want dandelions underneath, like, spruce trees, pine trees, and stuff like that, because they absorb the flavor of the tree. You mostly want them just in loose, open dirt and stuff. So I have told myself that I'm going to make a bed of dandelions, because you don't really let them go to flower, because you pick them before then. So you pick these young dandelions with the little balls, the flowers, just the little balls, and you clean them, and then you cut them up in a bowl, and then the dressing is basically just mayonnaise, vinegar, salt, and pepper, and you mix that on top of the dandelions, and that's it, and then you enjoy. And now that I'm talking about them, I'm salivating, and I think I need to go find some, like, some open black dirt where some dandelions are growing, or take some seeds from the ones that I do find and start growing some in some of my own dirt. And I don't care if my family doesn't like them, if I only need to pick enough for me, but it's already getting late here. I mean, I guess you can grow dandelions all year, but you want the young ones, right? So in Canada, the best time to get them is like spring, like now. Early spring, when they are young and yummy. As they get older, both like in the season, or like too big of a taproot and stuff, they get more bitter, so they don't taste as good. I haven't tried like fried dandelions or dandelions in different ways. Not even dandelion tea. Oh, maybe I've tried dandelion tea like bought in like little bags, but not like homemade dandelion tea. So. But as I've been doing my workout, when I do the cross trainer, I watch Gardener's World, catching up on episodes. I'm almost caught up, actually, but I could go back because it's been on for 50 years, so I can watch them on YouTube or something. But I'm watching the winter specials right now, and I think about that too with my gardening knowledge increasing and everything. That, like, a lot of people who garden, they do the you know, I'm still, okay, so I'm doing a lot of the ornamentals, which means they're for looks, and you know, they're not, you don't eat them. But I am learning more about the fruit and veg, which my parents did a veg garden every year, but I didn't pay attention as much to how to do that stuff as more eating it. But and it's different. In Canada, you put your stuff in the bed, like in your garden, your veg garden, in May, usually around May long weekend, which is the third weekend in May. And then, because the risk of frost is pretty much past then, and then it's ready to harvest in like September, October. But here, there's certain things that like it cool and certain things that like it hot, and you can grow things in the greenhouse, you can grow things out of the greenhouse. If you don't have a greenhouse, you can have those little plastic ones, like shelves with the plastic that goes over them, or you can get cloches, which are like little like tent things that go over your rows, and it keeps the humidity in there. Like, you leave the ends open so that it keeps it humid and warm, but it depends if they like it dry and you don't get rain in there, or you lift them to wet. Anyways, there's like, everything takes different conditions, and it's just more persnickety here growing things. So I'm still learning. Like, I have cucamelons that I'm growing, and they're in the cucumber family, but they look like little watermelons, and cucumbers like it warm, so there's something that I can grow in the greenhouse. So I'm wondering if I should try growing some of my, like, grow my cucamelons in the greenhouse. That way the greenhouse is getting, because for most things in the summer, the greenhouse is too hot to do anything with. It's great in the spring for starting seedlings and everything else, because obviously it's warmer in there than outside. And then in the winter, it's good for overwintering things. And then if you have a little heater, you know, keep the frost off things. There's lots of great things about a greenhouse, but in the summer it can be too hot in there for most things to grow. But there is certain things, tomatoes, peppers, like I said, cucumbers, things that really like the hot. So I was thinking growing the cucamelons in there, and then I have a bunch of cucumber seedlings that I grew, and so I'm wondering if I should do like half of them in the greenhouse and half of them out to see how well they do. So yeah, I've potted up some of my things like out in the actual raised beds. I did the ornamental gourds, because they're cool for autumn displays and stuff. So I planted 4 plants, and they're gonna grow up one of the archways. And then I planted beans, I think scarlet runner beans or something, and they're gonna grow up the other arch. And what else did I, oh, and sweet peas I put out into some pots and stuff. But I still have to figure out where I'm gonna put all my peas and stuff like that. So Melody says that sounds like a good idea regarding growing some cucumbers in the greenhouse and some out. And Mom said it's with homemade bread. So Mom, are you talking about you made some homemade bread and gave some to Melody, and Melody's having toast with PB&J from the homemade bread, which sounds, I mean, like I said, toast is yummy, but homemade bread, whether it's bread with butter or toasted, is even better. What? Okay, so veg, yeah. So the seedlings that I started. I thought my artichokes, okay, so I have my gem corn as well. That will need to go out eventually. It's not big enough yet because a mouse ate, again, I knew better, but a mouse ate my first batch of gem corn in the greenhouse. So I had to replant it. But I thought a mouse ate my artichoke seeds as well, but it didn't. So I planted like 15 more artichokes, and artichokes. Yeah, yes, I'm talking about artichokes, like the nice floret artichoke that you get. It looks, I don't know if it's in the same family, but I think it is as a thistle. So it looks like a huge thistle, like huge, like taller than me. And then you get the artichoke hearts before the flowers open. But but they take a lot of room because they get so big. And so I had planted like 5, or I don't know if I put 5, yeah, 5. I did. I put 5 seeds just to see if I could get even 1 or 2 to grow. And then I thought the mouse ate those. So I planted 15 more. And guess what? The mouse didn't eat the other ones. They just took a long time to grow. But actually, only 2 of them seem to be sprouting now. So the other 15, because they were planted later, haven't even started sprouting. But we'll see if I have any luck with these. Cardoons are very similar to artichokes. But I'm not even sure if you can eat cardoons. But they look the same. So I don't know if they are the same or not. But so yeah, it would be lovely to grow artichokes just for the look of them, but also to have artichokes because I do like artichoke. Melody said, yepers and apricot jam. That sounds very yummy. And I'm allergic to apricots and all those pitted fruits. But if the jam is cooked properly, like if the apricots are fully cooked, then I could eat them. I need to wee-wee. If somebody came down here, I would get them to talk to you guys while I went wee-wee, and we're only at 37 minutes, so... I mean, the garden, the birds and the trees are nice, but I don't think you guys want to, like, me to just have dead air for, Okay, you can hear the cooing of the pigeons and doves, and you can hear the blackbird, and, like, all the birds are, roosting now, because it's evening, so, yeah, so enjoy the bird sound while I'll be right back. Did you miss me? I tried to hurry, but I still had to wash my hands as well, so have to be sanitary. So the robins and the blackbirds, you'll hear them at different times of the day. They'll sing, and then in the distance you'll hear another one of them sing, and then they'll respond, and then you hear in the distance. So it's really cool to listen to the robins and the blackbirds. Sometimes the blackbird like does a screeching thing. It just goes like really low through the garden and screeches, and that's fine if it's like trying to scare off predators or whatever it's doing, but it scares the crap out of me sometimes. Sheesh. See, isn't that nice? But the pigeons and the cooing, they can get annoying. But they're not annoying right now, but sometimes they do. Oh, okay, so there was this blackbird that was in one of the greenhouses, the one that doesn't close. Well, there's no glass in the door of the second greenhouse, that's why I don't close the door. But there was a blackbird in there on Easter morning, and I saved it and took it out. I put Aurora's jacket over it to take it out and set it free, but I took pictures of it, and its beak, the top part of its beak was only half. So the bottom beak went up and it only had half a top beak. And I was like, oh no, it might not be able to eat and stuff. So it was very sad, and I hope that it didn't die. And it looked quite young. It wasn't a baby, but it wasn't a full adult yet. And, but I saw it the other day, and I can tell who it is because of the beak. So she, I think it's a male, because I think it is turning quite black. Female blackbirds are brown, and male blackbirds are black. So I think it is a male, but he is surviving and he's out there, so that made me happy. I don't exactly understand, like blackbirds, they usually come to the, like they live here year round, but they usually like stay in the same place. They might even use the same nest a few times. But if they have their babies, but they're territorial, so then I don't understand how, like I do have more than one male in my garden, but I don't know how much territory, and then if it's their kids, then it's okay, but if it's another rival family, and how they get out into new territory or whatever. But I remember when I first moved here, and there was this one blackbird that sang beautiful songs and everything, and I just loved it. And I knew that like it had this one that if I ever hear it on a recording, because I know it's like I could never mimic it, but I wanted to record it, but I never did. And then, so anyways, it does this one song that I knew it was him every time, and I kind of got to know him. And I remember this once when I was gardening, and he flew, and he was like close to me, and I said, oh, you are looking rough. You like, what? You know, like you had a rough night or what? And his feathers were all like weird and everything, and he just looked mangled. And then shortly after that, I never heard him again. So I knew that he was coming to say bye to me, and it was his time. So that was about 5 years after I moved here, and I'm just getting to know this Maine blackbird again now, the one that screeches through the garden. And it was nice that that one said bye to me, but yeah, I don't have the same relationship yet with this one as I did with that one. Robins can be very social as well, and the robins do come and you know, hang around near me while I'm doing stuff, but they're not yet my friends, like my friend in Ontario who like feeds the robins in her hand, although I haven't really tried that. But making friends with the birds. What else? There was something else that I thought about when I ran away to the toilet that I was going to tell you guys about. And my brain has not remembered it. See what's eating, working out, gardener's world and gardening, home renovations. No. Painting. Can't remember. It's going to be so hard tomorrow because the weather is probably going to be nice. So I know that I need to get the kitchen. Like, I'm very excited about the kitchen. So I have to paint the kitchen ceiling. Like I said, the cooker is coming on Wednesday, so I need to get it done. And, you know, it might take me 1 or 2 days to do it, depending how long the paint dries and how quickly I do the second or third coat. And so, yes, I need to get it done. But at the same time, I know I'll be like looking out the window while I'm painting, being like, I want to be outside. because I was like, today I didn't get outside until later in the day. But even a little bit of time outside is better than nothing. And I can't complain because I'm at home every day. And lots of people have to work full time and don't get as much time in the garden as me. Plus, like I said, in Canada and stuff, the weather is just turning nice now. I know my sister and my mom were out in the garden. Well, they call it a yard, but like, was it around Easter? And it was very nice out. And they, so yes, I know that you guys are getting nice weather there. It's May, and you guys will be putting in your garden soon. I saw some of my friends in Alberta getting bedding plants, like bedding flowers.
Did you take my duvet back so that you could fix the zipper?
Oh, the duvet cover?
Because I've got none left.
I don't know if I did or not, but if I did, it's in that bin right there.
This one?
Yeah. Aurora's duvet cover, the zipper broke on the bottom, so I'm going to put some snaps on it, or buttons, so that she can still have the duvet cover and it works, but I'm not replacing a zipper. But she gave it to me once to do, and I didn't do it, and then I gave it back to her to use, and then once it was dirty again and washed it, then I took it back, and then again, with summertime and wanting to be outside, and to be honest, I don't even think about the sewing and stuff like that, but I guess I should get that done one day. I can't remember what the other thing is that I was going to tell you guys. I really am good at this rambling thing. It's easier when I have topics that I know I'm going to talk about, but I haven't been reading at all. Sometimes I have time to flip through a gardening magazine, maybe, but not even that. And just reading. I mean, I thought about it today because it was nice outside, and I didn't want to get into anything like seriously because I knew I had my live and everything. And then also, like I said, I need more soil, potting soil and compost, whatever you want to call it, to pot things on and stuff. So there's lots of things that need to be done, but I thought about just sitting outside today and reading, but I didn't. I did get a few things potted up and such, but I just can't remember what I was going to say. Let's see, Steve's out with his mates, kids, school. No, mine is blank. Yeah, I can't remember. I filled the bird feeders yesterday too. I know you wouldn't see them now because they're roosting, so they won't be feeding right now. They tend to eat really early in the morning or in early afternoon before it gets too hot. So Steve said that too, that he thinks that I should set up like a nature cam, like a webcam, and we could do live footage of the bird feeders and the bird table and the bird bath and just have that live, and maybe people would tune into that. Melody said the train has left the station. Yeah, a brain fart. That's what I say, the train's left the station. But sometimes that happens. There's so many things that I should actually go back and like watch my lives again and then make notes and be like, oh, I told them I was going to do that and I never did that, or I said I was going to do that, or said I was going to explain that and I didn't do that. My Auntie Adeline, I think I might have told you guys about her last week. She passed away and her funeral was on Wednesday. That just passed, but I didn't see, so my sisters and my mom, well, Melody, were you there as well? Anyways, I didn't see anywhere that that there was a live like video link to it, so I didn't get to attend even via video link. And I wish all funerals had that option now, because it just makes it like so much nicer when you can attend, especially people who can't leave the house, or for one reason or another, or they're too far away to get to go to the funeral. Oh, stop it. I'm too bright, but every time I see like that, then I look, that's the color I want. But when I go to refocus it, it just makes me bright again. So, I'll just keep my hands here. Melody says, yes, she was at the funeral, and Melody said, you should have told us, we would have did it for you. Yeah, but I mean, it's just we had that at my ex-mother-in-law's funeral, and we didn't know why this lady was holding an iPad, and it was like really annoying because it kept like cutting out or ringing again and everything else, and we didn't realize that she was trying to live stream, like not live stream, but live, like be on a video chat with Diane's best friend who was in Australia at the time. No, she was in England. Sorry, she was in England at the time, and after I talked to Jean, I said, Jean, I wish you would have told me. I could have videoed the whole funeral and sent it to you. Or now like that, like the live option, right? And not had a video chat, but just had it on live. So like how me and Steve did our wedding, which was so awesome. It was just his phone or his iPad Steve put up in the corner, and we didn't know if it would work or not, but it did. And it was so awesome. It just, our whole, so Melody and Mom and you guys got to be at, oh, Mom was actually at our wedding, but Melody got to watch our wedding live. Obviously there was a time difference, and I know that later I saw the comment on there that said my sister better get married soon or I'm going back to bed because we were late. Okay, so me and Steve purposely pushed it back. We were like kind of like making ourselves late for the ceremony, but it was because then the gap between the ceremony and the dinner would have been shorter. But I didn't even think about the fact that there was people waiting live, like again, time zones away, waiting to watch on video. I didn't, obviously the people in church were waiting, but sorry, we didn't even get married in the church. You know what I mean? Sitting in the ceremony. But, so speaking of weddings, Amy and James are back from their honeymoon in Sri Lanka, and they seem to have had a wonderful time. They went for like a month. So, yeah, I never had a honeymoon with my first wedding or my second wedding, let alone going somewhere for a month. But that's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm happy for them though. If we had permission. Oh, right. Melody said about the funeral, if she had permission, and Mom said, I saved a pamphlet for you. Thank you, Mom. I remember asking Michelle too to send me pamphlets for Uncle Ed and then Nick's and Justin's funerals. I haven't got those yet either, so but yes, that is nice that you saved the pamphlet for me. You can either post it or just give it to Sunny, either one. Oh, speaking of which, Mom, happy Mother's Day. My brain is like that I didn't realize. I thought Mother's Day was like the third weekend, just like May long weekend. So I was like, oh, I better get those Mother's Day cards posted soon. And then it was only yesterday that somebody put up the flowers that they got for Mother's Day on Facebook. And I thought, I should look this up, what day exactly Mother's Day is in Canada. And it was today. So had I not looked that up yesterday, I might have totally missed, well, no, because everybody's posting about it now today on Facebook, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I do have your cards. They're sitting in the office, and I will get them posted to you eventually. I actually do have a care package to send to you guys as well that I need to get off my desk. It's already wrapped and taped and ready to go. I just need to go and bring it to the post office and post it. So eventually. So if you know Amanda Bynes, she is a young comedian. She was a child star, and she had a show called The Amanda Bynes Show, and it was like a skit comedy show, but kids. And she had this one character, it was like a superhero, and she's like, I'll do that. And she'd get up and she's like, eventually, and then sit back down. So it's like the procrastinator. And yeah, so now every time me and Steve say the word eventually, we think of that. Eventually. So it's like my procrastinating superpower. If you had a superpower, what superpower would you like? Lena. Good girl. Sorry, excuse the dog barking. Listen, if you're gonna bark, you need to come over here and make an appearance. You can't just lie there and bark, lazy dog. She'll do that. She'll lie on her bed here and bark while someone's at the front door. And she'll bark, but she won't go and check who it is. I could be kidnapped, and she's still just barking, not checking who is at the door or what's going on. Hey! Enough! Melody called me a dork. Hey, Lena. Come here. Come here. What? You grumbling now? Yeah? Yeah? Lena, that's Nova. See, it's just Nova. Hi, Nova. Nope, Nova, no. Puppy and Lena. Barking dogs. So I think we're almost done. Luckily the door's open so Nova can just go straight outside if she needs. Yeah, we have about 6 minutes. So anything else you guys want to talk about before we go? And no, the train that left the station has not made a return. The good news about the size of our house that we have and the fact that the downstairs bathroom isn't finished yet is that we took the kitchen sink and part of the counter and took the bathroom sink out, the like smaller one, and we put the kitchen sink with the counter in the bathroom. So yeah, I know it's people are like, ew, gross, you do the dishes in the bathroom, but I said, well, I can cover the toilet and we just won't use it as a bathroom. Or you just like close it. What our rules are is that you put the lid down when you flush it. Also, the dirty dishes can sit there, but as soon as they're washed, they need to be dried and put away so they're not sitting in there. But I'm happy that we can do that. And then all the there's counters in the dining room with the George Foreman grill, the Ninja like air fryer, the toaster, and the cutting board, and the fridge and freezer. They're all in the dining room. So that's where we like can prepare food and stuff. And then in the entranceway is more cupboards, and that's where the dishes are and stuff. So it's a mess, but it's nice that we have the room to put the cabinets that we can still use it instead of having everything out of the kitchen in boxes and stuff. If you live in a small house where so it's functioning. It's just it's like it's weird work right now, but very exciting. It should be done. Like I said, the carcasses of the kitchen are going in on Friday and Saturday. The doors won't be ready yet, but if the cooker's here on Wednesday, and then the carcasses go in on Friday and Saturday, then they can, with the cooker and the carcasses of the cupboards, the countertop people come with a laser, and they do the measurements with the laser, so that they get the countertops cut to exactly the however to fit it into the kitchen perfectly. So then it's a week before from when they come to do the measurements with the laser to when the countertops will be ready. But weirdly, in the garage, it's not weird. Years ago, we bought like 4 long wooden countertops that we were going to use in our kitchen, but we're not. And we used 2 of them in the girls' bedrooms. We had these, we bought these dressers that were clearance at IKEA, and it's like a dresser here and a dresser here, and then we put the long countertop on it, and then in the middle you could like sit with a tall chair and have it like a desk. And we did that on either side of the room because there's 3 of them in the room, so 4 dressers and 2 countertops. Now there's only 2 of them in the room, but anyways. So we used 2 of the countertops up in there, but we still have 2 countertops that are sitting in the garage, just standing up on end in there. So technically we could just throw those in the kitchen and use them temporarily. They still have plastic on them. We can just use them in the kitchen until the real countertops come. But the kitchen guy doesn't want me to put anything in the cupboards until the doors are ready, so that when he like puts the hinges on and stuff. But that's too bad because the doors won't be ready. Well, 7 weeks I think from when the order went in, because they're being treated like the color that we want. And so yeah, unfortunately that's not gonna happen. I am gonna put stuff in the cupboards, but when he's ready to fit the doors, I would rather put everything in the cupboards and figure out how I want things and have it in there until the doors are ready. And then when they're ready, I'll take stuff out of the cupboards and set it on the kitchen table or on the floor, so he has the room to do it. But yeah, we'd like to get the old cupboards out of the entranceway and dining room and stuff as soon as possible. We wanted all this stuff done before our friend Sunny comes from Canada to visit, but everything should be done, but I don't know if the doors will be on the kitchen before Sunny gets here, and that'll be June 3rd that he gets here, so we'll see. Yes, and if I remember what it was that I wanted to say, I'll make a note of it and maybe tell you guys next week. So now it is almost time to say bye, and then I got to do my workout, and then Steve's gone to cards, so I get a little bit of time to myself. But what do I tend to do with that? I think, I could read, or I could watch TV, or it's trains going by. We have train tracks right next to our house. So can you hear the train? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Oh, you guys can see Lena in the background. It looks quite dark for me. So that's nice that you can see her. She is such a dog, like the dog after my own heart. Like, she likes to be out in the garden just like I do, so she could lay out there for hours. There's a book I'm listening to on Audible right now, and it's called something about your dog is your mirror, or something about a mirror and a dog. And I'm not sure if I totally agree with everything he's saying, but I'm still learning a few things. And it's about like emotion and how much a dog and their owner end up being alike and stuff. And it makes sense to the point that, oh, that's why it always seems like the animal you have, not always, but a lot of times it's like, it was the perfect dog for me, it was the perfect cat for me. But yeah, so I thought about that, and how Lena is just like such great temperament. She's exactly what I wanted, and she loves being out in the garden with me. So yeah, it's an interesting read. It's free on Audible, so it didn't cost me any money or one of my credits. Yes, like, again, something, I'll type it in the comments. I'll look it up after I'm done this, but it's something about a dog in a mirror. And like I said, I don't know if I agree with all of it. I absolutely think that dogs are spiritual beings just like us, and I do think they have a consciousness. But it's still interesting, and I am learning some things. He's been a dog trainer for years, and so was his dad. So, you know, I'm not saying he doesn't know anything about the dogs. It's worth a listen, especially if it's free. So yes, happy Mother's Day again, and I hope you guys have had a great day, and that you guys have a great week, and we will see you here next week for episode 3 of season 7. All right, I love you guys, and take care. And obviously you can message me during the week too if you want to talk or video chat or anything else. All right, bye mommy, love you too. Bye everyone, have a great week.